Namaste. I hope you all have been taking care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. I really do. Before I get into this video, I do want to have a quick disclaimer. The topics of this video can be extremely sensitive and extremely triggering to some. It involves the topic and conversation about sexual assault and sexual abuse. So if those topics are triggering or cause emotions, please don't watch this video. So today I sat down at my desk, getting ready to do what I normally do every day. And a thought popped into my head. And there were a series of thoughts before I settled on my final thought. The series of thoughts went like this. I recognize in myself that I keep people at a close distance, people that I would consider friends. I keep them at a close distance. Very, very few people have been really, really close to the core close to me. And through my own healing process and work on myself, I have realized that one of the reasons could be because as a child, I would say between the ages of 8 and 11, I was sexually assaulted by a member of my family. And at the age of 16, I was sexually assaulted by a cousin twice my age. So the fact that I was violated by family members to whom most people feel the most safe around family, I was violated by family. So my ideals of trust in who can be trusted were skewed at an early age. So in my adult life, as I'm growing into an adult, if I can't trust my family, why would I trust a stranger? So these are things that I recognize about myself. These are things that I'm continuing to work on, to work through. I don't have a perfect answer. I try to take every encounter of people that I feel are worth me getting to know. Because let's face it, not everybody is worth getting close to me. I know that. But there are people that are, and I should allow that opportunity to flourish. So thinking about just that part of me that I know, that I recognize, that to a certain aspect that I need to continue to work on, it made me think about all the women, all the Black women, all the little Black girls that I have actually exchanged real energy and words with, who have told me the very same thing, that they were violated as a girl, as a little girl, or as a teenager by family members or people close to the family friends. And it got me thinking, why is it that just about every single Black woman I have talked to has had an experience like this? I don't understand it. It's extremely troubling, and it's heartbreaking. And then my thought took me to when African people were enslaved and how enslavers treated the African women and their descendants once they were stolen. The idea, just the simple fact that people from African descent are not treated as, or not treated, not even thought of on a conscious and subconscious level as humans, then the enslaved women being treated as cattle, yet their enslavers, their captors, would do whatever they wanted to their bodies, just whatever. They felt like it. Want to get my rocks off tonight? You look good. You look like you'll do for the night. This perpetual idea that Black women's bodies are for everyone else and Black women are not human. We're not real. I'm getting off in a tangent, but that ideal system, that practice, that, yes, it predates enslavement of African people, but my theory starts there. My theory of why so many Black women are sexually assaulted starts with enslavement of Africans and their descendants. Enslavers treated Black women as cattle, as animals, there for their pleasure. I don't know for a fact, but I've heard stories from I've heard encounters and read books from enslaved women during that time that often their husbands would also abuse them sexually. And that's because they learned that from their enslavers, that to be a man, this is how you treated the woman. To be thought of as a person in power, this is what you did to the woman. So that idea, that concept is continuously passed down and passed down and passed down. Then let's not forget the good old saying that I'm sure every single Black person has heard in their household. Don't be talking about family business out in the streets. What happens in this house stays in this house. Nobody talks about anything. There's so much shame built around everything that we don't talk about stuff that is continuously affecting us and hurting us generationally. So I feel like I'm going around the world, but I felt like I needed to explain all of that to help understand where I was going with my thought. My theory is, because of how enslaved women were treated by their captors, how they were forced to have children, they were raped, all these things became an ingrained habit. It became a thing that we know this is going to happen. All we can do is prepare ourselves mentally as much as we can. Side note, I'm getting sidetracked off this because my brain is moving faster than my mouth can keep up with. I remember as a little girl, my mom would always tell me to never, ever sit on anybody's lap. As a kid, I'm like, but why? It wasn't, as a kid, like as a 5-year-old, when you are mixing and mingling with family members or anybody that you trust, you sit on their lap, or you sit next to them, or they pick you up. All I ever remember my mom telling me is don't ever sit on anybody's lap and don't let anybody ever pick you up. Never knew why. I liked getting picked up as a kid. Like, you know, I'm little, everybody's tall, and I don't want to look like this. Hell, I'm still short, 5'1". So I'm just looking up at everybody like this, and I liked feeling the free of being picked up and on everybody's level. I loved being picked up as a kid. Like, I'm on your level now. I can see you, we eye to eye. Right? But now that I'm older, and now that I have experienced violation on levels, I know why my mom told me that. But she didn't have the conversation as to why I should not do that, or why it wasn't a good idea. And that's my problem. Like, why are we not having these conversations? Like, little girls are maybe like taught, don't ever go in a room full of boys. Women, we know why. We know why. Little girls don't know why. They just know that they're being told this thing, but they don't understand why that's not a good idea. And let's look at the other side of that. Why is it okay for boys to continue to act like this? Why are little boys not having this conversation with their mothers and their fathers? Don't do this. This is not how you behave. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent, and I can tell that I'm getting lost in this conversation. However, what I wanted to say, I'm trying to bring it back. What I wanted to say was, I feel like, in my theory, that there's a direct correlation to how women, enslaved women, were treated by their captors as to the reason why now today so many black women are sexually violated, and it's okay. I said all of that to say those words. I was thinking about apologizing for bringing up this conversation, bringing up this topic, but I'm not. I'm not sorry at all. More people need to be talking about this. More people need to be talking about their experiences. More people need to be uncomfortable with the fact that women, little girls, are sexually violated. Innocence is being stolen here, people, on a daily basis, and nobody cares. I'm not going to say nobody cares, but that's the way it feels to women, little girls who've been violated. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I've been hurt, and nobody cares. That translates to how they feel about themselves. That translates to how they are going to move in this world and exist around other people. We need to start talking about this. With that being said, I hope you take care of your bodies, your spirit, and your emotions. Namaste.